Yamiche, isn't it really the way to rebuild the Democratic Party if you're sitting there in the United States Senate or the House of Representatives? The two pillars of our society that are standing, Social Security and Medicare, I mean, those are Democratic programs that were in their origins, and the fight to keep them is going to be probably pretty tough coming up in the next session. And one way to rebuild the party is to stand up for what the party stands for against Tom Price.
I would say one of the big differences, of course, that when lay people ask them about the difference between Democrats and Republicans is what Republicans call entitlement programs. I think the Democrats are facing this idea that they have to really choose wisely which cabinet positions to really fight on. There are so many people that they could be picking fights on. You mentioned the EPA. You mentioned the idea that they have someone in the education secretary, the nominee for the education secretary, that believes in a kind of radical, they consider a radical form of education and taking away money from public schools. But I think you're right when it comes to talking about Social Security and Medicare, and really, I would even say Obamacare. I think Democrats know that the Republicans are going to go within the first 100 days after Medicare and after kind of how people get their medical coverage in this country. And Democrats want to be able to say and stand up and say, okay, if you're going to take away all the things that Democrats did for health care, what are you going to do with it? How are you going to change it? And what are you going to replace it with? Because millions of people now are looking to the federal government for how they receive their medical care.
Sam,